Namaskar, hello and welcome to Sansad TV. I'm Tina Jha. You're watching House Highlights, where we take you through the day's proceedings in both Houses of Parliament. First, the headlines. Government expresses regret over civilian deaths during anti-insurgency operation in Nagaland. Home Minister Amit Shah makes statement in Parliament, condoles deaths, says probe report into incident within 1 month. The National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research Amendment Bill 2021 passed in Lok Sabha. Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Amendment Bill 2021 introduced. In the Rajya Sabha, Leader of Opposition Mallikarjun Kharge calls suspension of 12 members from the upper house undemocratic, wants them revoked. Leader of the House, Piyush Goyal, says MPs should apologise for alleged misconduct. And Rajya Sabha fails to take short-duration discussion on price rise. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman calls opposition's actions hypocritical, says parties are deliberately scuttling debate by disrupting proceedings. The government on Monday expressed deep regret over the deaths of 14 civilians and 1 soldier in anti-insurgency operations in Nagaland. Home Minister Amit Shah made a detailed statement in both Houses of Parliament and offered condolences to members of the bereaved families. He added that the situation in the state is currently tense but under control. Expressing regret over the civilian killings in Nagaland last Saturday, Home Minister Amit Shah on Monday said a special investigation team will submit a probe report on it within a month. He asserted that all agencies must ensure that such incidents do not recur in anti-insurgency operations.
स्थानीय प्रशासन और पुलिस ने स्थिति को सामान्य करने के प्रयास किए हैं। अभी स्थिति तनावपूर्ण लेकिन नियंत्रण में बनी हुई है। इस मामले को राज्य अपराध पुलिस स्टेशन को जांच के लिए सौंप दिया गया है। इस संदर्भ में एक विशेष जांच टीम एसआईटी का गठन किया गया है, जिसे 1 माह के अंदर जांच पूरी करने के निर्देश दिए गए हैं। प्रभावित क्षेत्र में किसी और अप्रिय घटना को रोकने के लिए अतिरिक्त बलों की तैनाती कर दी गई है। सेना की 3 कोर मुख्यालय द्वारा एक प्रेस वक्तव्य जारी किया गया है, जिसमें निर्दोष नागरिकों की दुखद मृत्यु के घटनाक्रम पर अत्यधिक दुख सेना द्वारा व्यक्त किया गया है। सेना द्वारा इन दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण मृत्यु के कारणों की जांच उच्चतम स्तर पर की जा रही है और कानून के अनुसार समुचित कार्यवाही की जाएगी।
In his statement in both Houses of Parliament, Amit Shah offered condolences to the bereaved families.
गृह मंत्रालय द्वारा तुरंत पूर्वोत्तर के प्रभारी अपर सचिव को कोहिमा भेजा गया, जहां उन्होंने आज सुबह नागालैंड राज्य सरकार के मुख्य सचिव एवं अन्य वरिष्ठ अधिकारियों और अर्धसैनिक बलों के वरिष्ठ अधिकारियों के साथ बैठक की स्थिति का विस्तारपूर्ण समीक्षा की है, ताकि यह सुनिश्चित किया जा सके कि शीघ्र सामान्य स्थिति बहाल हो। यह निर्णय लिया गया है कि सभी एजेंसियों को यह सुनिश्चित करना चाहिए कि विद्रोहियों के खिलाफ अभियान चलाते समय भविष्य में ऐसी कोई दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण घटना की पुनरावृत्ति न हो। सरकार स्थिति पर सूक्ष्मता से नजर रख रही है और क्षेत्र में शांति और सौहार्द सुनिश्चित करने के लिए आवश्यकता अनुसार जरूरी उपाय भी किए जा रहे हैं। राज्य प्राधिकारियों ने एहतियात के तौर पर प्रभावित इलाकों में निषेधाज्ञा लागू की है। भारत सरकार नागालैंड में हुए इस दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण घटना पर अत्यंत खेद व्यक्त करती है और मृतकों के परिवारों के प्रति गहरी संवेदना व्यक्त करती है।
Expressing dissatisfaction with the statement, opposition parties including the Congress, the DMK, Samajwadi Party, BSP and NCP walked out of Lok Sabha.
मैंने सबको पर्याप्त मौका दे दिया है, कोई रिकॉर्ड में नहीं आएगा।
Lok Sabha members also condemned the killing of 14 civilians in Nagaland and demanded an impartial investigation into the incident. Members also called for the repeal of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act.
I think There is a Armed Special Power Act in the state. But the Armed Force Special Act has not given power to the armed forces to indiscriminately kill the public. Inquiry should be there, and the learn of the law should be enforced under commander of 21 paratroopers and the constables. And then stern action should be taken. And lastly, sir, through you, I want to appeal. State government have given ex gratia to 5 lakhs to all the slain and the injuries. But since 21 paramilitary belongs to the center, the control of the central government, adequate compensation should be given to those diseased families.
December 4th and December 5th will be remembered as a black day in the history of Nagaland. The people of Nagaland and the people of Northeast want to live in peace, want to address the issues of unemployment, and want to showcase their beautiful culture. The killing of unarmed civilians is highly condemnable. And at this juncture, I appeal for peace from all sections of society. And peace can only be delivered if the Union Home Minister and the Union Defense Minister and the Government of India give us the truth and give us justice.
Our own citizen, it is not fair, it is very much condemnable, and at the same time, the proper inquiry should be taken, should be clearly taken on this issue, and enough compensation to be given to the kith and kin of deceased people, and this must not repeat again, because killing our own citizen by own security guards is condemnable.
Sir, the past of Nagaland is very serious. It was. NSCN, the organization, used to operate in the land of Nagaland, and it was very much difficult for the government of India then to come to a negotiation with this force and to introduce peace in this area. So we should remain alert that Nagaland should not be allowed at all with its law and order problem be further deteriorated. The incident of killing of 16 people with an army man, amongst which there are laborers, is painful, and it cannot be tolerated in any manner.
नागरिकों की जो हत्या हुई एक चिंता की बात है, उतनी एक दुखद बात है कि भविष्य में अपने देशवासियों की इस तरीके से जाने नहीं चाहिए। एक दुख की बात ऐसी है अध्यक्ष महोदय, जैसे कि आसाम राइफल के जो कमांडर है उन्होंने जो स्पष्ट किया कि उन्हें खुफिया एजेंसी के माध्यम से जो बातें कुछ जानकारी मिली थी। मेरा प्रश्न है कि खुफिया एजेंसी के माध्यम से ऐसी गलत बातें कैसे उन्हें पता चलती है?
Security forces opened fire on civilians, killing 14 people and injuring 11 others in Nagaland's Mon district in different incidents. The first of which was a case of mistaken identity, the police said on Sunday. A soldier also died in the rioting that followed. Bureau Report, Sansad TV. The National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research Amendment Bill 2021 was passed in the Lok Sabha on Monday. The bill accords special status to 6 more institutes of pharmaceutical education and research, besides setting up a council for these institutes. So with this amendment, institutes at Ahmedabad, Guwahati, Hajipur, Hyderabad, Kolkata and Raebareli will be declared institutions of national importance. Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia introduced the bill.
रिसर्च हम कर सके, एजुकेशन दे सके और उसका उपयोग देश को हो, इसलिए हमने एक नेशनल काउंसिल बनाने की बात कही है। और नेशनल काउंसिल बनने से स्वागत राय दादा, उसमें हम जो बोर्ड ऑफ गवर्नेंस का कोई अधिकार नहीं ले रहे हैं। जो बोर्ड ऑफ गवर्नेंस के पास अधिकार है वो अधिकार वहाँ ही रहेगा। नेशनल काउंसिल है वो एडवाइजरी बॉडी के रूप में काम करेंगे। और यहाँ कई सम्मानीय सदस्यों ने अपनी बात रखी कि उसमें SC ST का प्रतिनिधित्व नहीं है, गवर्निंग बॉडी हमने कम की, तो वो जो 22 की संख्या थी उसको कम कर दिया और 12 कर दिया, और वहाँ जो SC ST के कैंडिडेट थे, हमारे सम्मानीय सांसद भी उसमें थे, उसको काउंसिल में ले लिया। तो उसका प्रतिनिधित्व हमने खत्म नहीं किया है, उसका प्रतिनिधित्व ऑलरेडी काउंसिल के तौर पर हमने रखा ही है। तो ये भी एक उसमें महत्वपूर्ण हमारा विषय है। और कुल मिला के ए नाइपर में काउंसिल बनाना और डिग्री देना, अदर अंडर ग्रेजुएट डिग्री चालू करना और सभी को नेशनल इम्पोर्टेंस घोषित करना और गवर्निंग बॉडी में सदस्य संख्या कम करना, ये 4 सुझाव हम लेके 4 अमेंडमेंट लेके आए थे। सभी ने उसमें बहुत सकारात्मक और हकारात्मक बात कही है।
Abdul Khalik from the Congress party initiated the debate on the pharmaceutical bill. Saugata Roy of the Trinamool Congress sought permanent campuses for these institutes. Stressing an urgent need to focus on capacity building, BJP's Rajdeep Roy said it will help train manpower for industry. Sanjeev Kumar Singhari of YSR Congress party said industrialists should be incentivized for every research. Kuwar Danish Ali of the BSP termed the bill very important. He also stressed the need for strict accountability while carrying out trials for any medicine. Supriya Sule of the NCP sought serious investment in laboratories. Members cutting across party lines took part in the discussion. Let's listen.
Clause 30A, one of the proposed act, talks about the establishment of the council, which will act as central body of all the 7 put together. There is a need to increase the number of field experts in the councils. Doing so would ensure planned and coordinated development of the pharmaceutical education and research and maintenance of the standard across institutes.
By granting Institute of National Importance status, this institution will gain administrative autonomy, they will gain functional autonomy and enhance the efficiency, quality and accountability. This Make in India program is going to get a further boost, and development of state-of-the-art infrastructure required for pharmacy research and development is important.
Some 4,500 crores was allocated for these institutes of national importance. But sadly, only about, my earlier speaker said 300, but I think it is about 100 crores for Hyderabad, Guwahati and Ahmedabad, and 55 crores for Hajipur, Kolkata and Raebareli, sir. So it comes to around less than 500 crores. So where a requirement for 4,500 crores was considered, the amount sanctioned has been very meager, sir. So I think the amount of funding which needs to be given for these institutions should be enhanced to bring out quality education, quality research, and which is going to benefit our country greatly.
Committee noted that there are proposals to create 5 more NIPERs at Madurai, Jhalawar, Nagpur, New Raipur and Bengaluru. What happened to the NIPER at Madurai or at Bengaluru? Why they have not been set up so far? The minister has to answer.
Nowadays we speak of more of politics and less of science, sir. We have seen in COVID, whole world was speaking, 90% was politics and 10% was science. At least now in this post-COVID scenario, let there be 90% of science and 10% of politics, sir. Sir, in conclusion, I hope that the National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education Research Amendment Bill would start a new era of research in India. I urge the Government of India to accept all recommendations made by the Standing Committee on Chemicals and Fertilizers and expedite the establishment of NIPERs in all states. Sir, we have lost NIPER to Hyderabad after division of the state. So I humbly request the Minister to sanction one NIPER to Andhra Pradesh.
कि जितने ट्रायल्स होते हैं दवाइयाँ टेस्ट करने में, उसकी अकाउंटेबिलिटी थोड़ी सख्त करनी चाहिए, क्योंकि यह देखने में आया है कि जो मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज हैं, जो विदेशी कंपनीज हैं, वो भारत की कंपनीज के साथ टाई अप करके जो ट्रायल्स करते हैं वो हिंदुस्तान में करते हैं और हिंदुस्तान के अंदर ऐसे गरीब लोगों पर, जो दलित हैं, आदिवासी हैं, पिछड़े हैं, वंचित समाज के लोग हैं, उनके ऊपर ऐसे ट्रायल्स ज्यादा होते हैं। उसकी अकाउंटेबिलिटी सरकार को तय करनी चाहिए।
Now, a lot of research is happening in this country at various levels. Every state has generic medicine, their own traditional medicine, where the Ayush department has also intervened. Some have been even hoax, especially during the pandemic. But is there a chance that the Ayush department and all traditional medicine in every state, could we either have a hub? Because right now we only have 6. Like if you go to the Northeast, I remember there is something called an elephant apple, which the Northeast, a lot of people recommend it's very good for diabetes. Then in Maharashtra, we all use turmeric, most of us actually. You're also, Mansukh Bhai is from Gujarat, he'll know that we all use turmeric a lot because it's a very good antiseptic medicine. So a lot of research which is happening there, which is converted into medication. So could every state talk about the specialized medicine? So is there a possibility that we could work with the states to get more research oriented, like the Krishi Vigyan Kendras are in every district? We may not need a visibility of every district in pharmaceutical, but could every state have one? Could that be an opportunity? Because that's a recommendation also given by the standing committee that we must increase the number of seats, more so because of the traditional medicine that is been seen.
इसमें हाजीपुर का एक इंस्टीट्यूट है जिसकी हालत बहुत ही दयनीय है, और सिर्फ यही नहीं, इसके अलावा 2015 में 5 और इंस्टीट्यूट खोलने की बात सरकार ने की, लेकिन इत्तेफाक से सभी इंस्टीट्यूट्स की हालत बहुत ही ख़राब है। जबकि ये पार्लियामेंट ने इसको इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ नेशनल इम्पोर्टेंस घोषित किया है। तो जैसा कि पहले भी हमारे कोलीग्स ने कहा कि देयर इज़ अ लैक ऑफ कैंपस बिल्डिंग्स, lack of staff, lack of laboratories. I would request the Honorable Minister to look into that and try and rectify the shortfalls.
Pharmacists and this community, it is an integrated part of the healthcare team in our country, sir. The another thing I would like to say, sir, this is we should take a holistic approach in this. Sir, the pharmacy is a profession that is composed with various basic science. Health science, such as chemistry, biology, psychology, nutrition, anatomy, social science, and other biomedical science. So what I am saying is a comprehensive development in all this sector should be developed. That is the need of the hour.
My first request to the Honorable Minister is the Government College of Pharmacy in Thiruvananthapuram, attached to the Medical College of Thiruvananthapuram, also be declared as an institute of national importance. Subject to that condition, I fully support the contents of the bill.
इस विधेयक को सदन के समक्ष लाने की जो मंशा है उसमें मुझे कोई संदेह नहीं है, लेकिन अगर इसके प्रावधानों को ठीक से पढ़ा जाए तो कुछ सिस्टमिक फ्लॉज है और कुछ नीतियों में बदलाव की आवश्यकता है। कोरोना ने हमारे हेल्थ सेक्टर के ड्रॉबैक्स को उजागर किया है, और मुझे लगता है कि मेडिकल एजुकेशन और रिसर्च में बड़े पैमाने पर रिफॉर्म्स लाने की जरूरत है।
The Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Amendment Bill 2021 was also introduced in the Lok Sabha by Minister of State for Finance Dr. Bhagwat Karat. The bill further amends the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act of 1985.
To move for a leave to introduce a bill further to amend the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985.
प्रश्न ये कि विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति प्रदान की जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में माननीय मंत्री विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करें।
I will introduce a bill. I am introducing the bill, sir.
And with that, time for a short break here. We'll be right back. Do stay with us. Welcome back after the break. Let's now take a look at the proceedings in the upper house. Leader of House in the Rajya Sabha, Piyush Goyal, asked the suspended members of parliament to apologize for their alleged misconduct. He pointed out that the suspended members damaged parliament property and also attacked marshals on the last day of the previous monsoon session. He also targeted the opposition members for disrupting proceedings and also denying other members their rights.
Opposition demands a discussion. Can they do this spectacle? And they are trying to defend the indefensible acts of their colleagues who are not even feeling any remorse for the sacrilege that the Honorable Chairman used, the sacrilege they did of democracy. Now the leader of opposition claims he wants to start the discussion and asks you to bring the house in order. This is like they are playing a game. Their own members are here. Does it mean that the leader of opposition has no command over his own members?
However, alleging that the suspensions of the 12 members of Rajya Sabha was undemocratic, leader of opposition Mallikarjun Kharge demanded that their suspensions be revoked. Listen in.
मैं प्रारंभ में ही अपना अपील कर रहा था कि हमारे जो 12 लोग सस्पेंड हो गए हैं वो सदन के बाहर बैठे हैं उन्होंने पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहते हैं
माननीय खड़गे जी द मैटर इज अबाउट शॉर्ट ड्यूरेशन डिस्कशन
सर
शॉर्ट ड्यूरेशन डिस्कशन
1 मिनट सर तो वो पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहते हैं इसमें आई एम रेडी टू डिस्कस यू रिवोक द सस्पेंशन आई एम रिक्वेस्टिंग
if the house comes in order we can start the short duration discussion honorable members we can start the short duration discussion on petroleum and price rise which is an important aspect of the country.
The upper house also could not take up the short duration discussion on price rise due to repeated disruptions in the house. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman alleged that the opposition's actions amounted to hypocrisy. She also pointed out that it was the opposition that had demanded a discussion on price rise, and now they are the ones who are running away from it by deliberately disrupting the proceedings of the House.
Let me humbly submit to the opposition leaders. This topic is decided by them.
Yes.
Opposition wanted to discuss this, and the government has agreed to have this discussion. If they are talking about democracy, they asked for it and we have agreed. Should they be discussing it? Isn't that democracy? Isn't that the spirit of this house? And often we are accused that the government is running away from debate. We are not running away from debate. We want the debate. We want to discuss price rise. We've agreed to discuss. But you're seeing this, sir. You're seeing this.
The 0 hour also could not be held in the upper house due to opposition protests over the suspension of the 12 members from the house. Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu urged the members to allow the house to function. He said it was not an issue that had not come up earlier in the house. Remember, the upper house passed a government resolution last week to suspend members for unruly behavior on the last day of the previous monsoon session.
You want to harm the 0 hour. You want to deny the members raising important issues. Very important issues. I am not hearing it also because that has been raised a number of times and answered. Okay. Thank you.
Amid protests, the upper house took up question hour, and responding to a question, Petroleum Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said they will try to increase the targets of Ujjwala gas connections for rural households. He added that Ujjwala 2.0 introduced in the month of August has helped lakhs of households during the ongoing pandemic. Despite the chair's appeals, as the protests continued, the question hour was stalled. The post-lunch session was also disrupted. And Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu apprised members about the resignation of member Banda Prakash. Prakash represented Telangana in Rajya Sabha.
I had received a letter dated 2nd December 2021 from Dr. Banda Prakash, member representing the state of Telangana, resigning his seat in the Rajya Sabha with effect from the 4th of December 2021. He called on me. I discussed with him, he does it voluntarily, so I have accepted it, his resignation from the said date.
And the chairman also informed members about the leave request of member Mahendra Prasad on grounds of ill health. Now, according to rules, members wishing to obtain the permission of the upper house for remaining absent from meetings shall make an application in writing to the chairperson, stating that the period for which he may be permitted to be absent from the meetings of the council.
Leader of the JDU party in the Rajya Sabha, stating Dr. Mahendra Prasad is admitted in Apollo Hospital, New Delhi, and is undergoing treatment there. He is not in a position to sign the leave application and is unable to attend the entire sittings of the current 255th session of the Rajya Sabha. Sri Ramnath Thakur has therefore requested that leave of absence may be granted to Dr. Mahendra Prasad, member, on medical ground from 29th November to 23rd December for the current 255th session of the Rajya Sabha. Does Mahendra Prasad have the permission of the House for remaining absent from 29th November to 23rd December for the ongoing 255th session of the Rajya Sabha? Permission to remain absent is granted.
And that's it from us in this bulletin. Thanks very much for your time.